Hey team, Bill Storm here with you. And today we're going to continue our study of John Maxwell's book, High Road Leadership. We're on to chapter 10, Live by the Big Picture. Remember, this is a study. So what I've done is I've put together key takeaways and some action steps for leaders. We're going to go through the different principles that John outlines in this chapter, and then you can decide what are the takeaways that are going to work best for you and your style of leadership. So in his book, High Road Leadership, John explores the principles that help leaders become more impactful and purposeful. So in this chapter, Live by the Big Picture, John delves into a foundational concept of transformational leadership, the ability to see beyond personal ambitions and recognize a bigger purpose that connects us to those that we lead. Now, John argues that leaders are at their best when they aim to leave a legacy that surpasses their own interests. So this particular chapter offers essential insights for leaders who wish to foster a lasting positive impact. So let's get into the key takeaways from Live by the Bigger Picture. Number one, adopt a long-term vision, right? It's a marathon, not a sprint, according to John, right? So leaders often face short-term pressures, right? Leaders have goals, they have deadlines, and they have to make things happen now. At least that's how we've been conditioned to do things here in the good old US of A. So leaders often face short-term pressures that can distract them from focusing on the bigger picture. So what John does is he urges leaders to prioritize long-term goals and broader impacts over temporary wins, right? So that reminds me of the idea of you can't build a building on a weak foundation, right? You may get a temporary win, or you may be able to patch something together temporarily, but over time you won't be able to grow and scale it because you haven't built that solid foundation. So John says this approach fosters decisions that benefit the organizations, teams, and society at large. Number two, align personal and organizational values. So when leaders understand their own core values and then align them with those of their organization, now they create a sense of purpose that resonates with other people, right? So a leader's purpose-driven actions inspire team members, encouraging them to connect their work to something meaningful. Yes, right? When you're the leader of an organization, you should be being the leader of that organization, you should be a person that's drinking the Kool-Aid, right? You have to truly believe in what you're doing, what the overall mission is, and it should align with who you are as an individual person, right? This is how you live out your passion, and this is how you inspire others. It has to come from an authentic place. Number three, invest in people, not just results. So John emphasizes that leaders who live by the bigger picture don't view team members as mere tools or pawns on the board for achieving their results. Instead, they prioritize building relationships, nurturing growth, and helping others succeed. So by focusing on people, leaders create a legacy of collaboration and empowerment. Now, as a side note to this, yes, it's always important to focus on the relationships and nurturing and growing, helping others. But I will say this, the people that you put on their team have to be the right people for the right seats on the bus, as John would say, right? To have somebody on your team that's not cut out for the job that they were hired to do, it doesn't matter really what you do to try to support them or nurture them. If it's not where they should be, then they either need to be moved into a different position that is more in line with who they are as a person and what their capabilities are. We can't just keep trying to nurture growth in someone if it's just not in their nature, right? So we want to emphasize their strengths, not their weaknesses, and make sure that we're investing in people, but making sure that we're investing in the right people to get the job done, right? And then the results flow naturally. Number four, leave a legacy. The true impact of a leader is often measured by what remains after they're gone, right? So leaders who keep the bigger picture in mind strive to build sustainable practices, systems, and a culture that thrives independently of them. So their legacy reflects their vision for a better, enduring future. So a legacy builder is somebody who has a vision, they have a mission, and they attract other people that believe in that mission. And not only do they believe in it, but they want to take it to the next level. And I think that's true, especially if you're a parent, right? Your job is to make sure that your children are better than you, right? We want to pour into them so they can take things, they can take the family legacy to the next level. And we want the same thing for our people, right? So if we've attracted a certain kind of people that believe in our vision and our mission, and they're working with us, what we need to do is put together a system. We need to put together a business in place that can continue to operate regardless of whether we're here on this earth or even if we're available, even if we weren't available for a week, if we were away on vacation, right? We should be able to step away from that business and know that the overall mission, vision, and the systems that are in place will continue to operate properly. Number 5, shift from control to influence. So in this particular chapter, John advises leaders to let go of the need for control, right? And nurture an environment where influence becomes the guiding force. This shift allows leaders to inspire rather than dictate, fostering a collaborative and autonomous team dynamic. Again, let's go back to the idea of your children, right? You can rule with an iron fist and you can try to control everything that they do. But that often fails. Most times it fails. But instead, what we want to do is we want to be a good influence on them, right? Kids don't pay attention to what you say, they pay attention to what you do. So you set up yourself as a good role model. They are inspired by that, they respect that, and that influences them to do the right thing and to do a great job without you having to force control on that. That's a great lesson for a lot of middle managers who are always trying to control things. They're micromanaging things all the time. If you've got people on your team that you need to micromanage, they're either not the right people for the team, or you need to improve your leadership skills drastically to one where you start to lead by influence instead of control. So here's some action steps for you as a leader. Number 1, create a vision statement for your team. So that's a good question. Do you actually have a vision statement for your team? And even if you've created one yourself, if you ask each one of your team members to tell you what that vision is, would they be able to? That's a great question, right? So start by identifying what you hope to achieve together, both now and into the future. Then engage your team in developing a vision statement that encapsulates the team's immediate goals and the larger impact you collectively want to make. This serves as a constant reminder of the purpose that binds your efforts. Okay, so a vision statement where you create it with your team, that is more powerful than one that you just create on your own. Of course, you set the tone, right? And you set the agenda and you share your vision, but you want them to participate in it. And what I would suggest is that you actually revisit this on an annual basis to make sure that it's still in alignment with where you want to go. And I think when the founding fathers drafted the Constitution, I mean, that was the idea. That was kind of a vision statement of what America was supposed to be. Number 2, encourage team members to define their why. So challenge your team to reflect on why they do the work that they do, right? When you have a big enough why, you can move mountains. You need that leverage. So you help each individual identify personal motivations that align with the team's vision. So that creates a culture where members feel more connected to their role in organization. You no longer have to force a result. They're doing it because they feel connected to it. Number 3, invest time in leadership development. This is huge, and so few leaders do this, right? You have to condition, you have to train your leaders consistently. It's something that you condition in. So developing future leaders is one of the most effective ways to ensure the longevity of your impact, right? So identify promising individuals on your team. I like to call that building your bench strength, and invest in their growth. Feed them, feed them, nourish them, put light on them, right? Give them sun, just like a plant, and help them to grow. Provide mentorships and opportunities for leadership. By empowering others, you create a ripple effect of positive influence. Yes, we're all stronger and smarter together, and there's a lot that I can do myself, But if I can create some mini me's, right, little versions of myself, I can create a bigger ripple effect. Number 4, celebrate small wins with a bigger picture in mind. So recognize and celebrate small achievements contributing to the larger vision. By linking day-to-day accomplishments with the big picture, you help reinforce a sense of purpose and keep the team motivated even when challenges arise. So yes, what we do is we set an expectation of where we're trying to go, what we're trying to achieve, and then on a daily basis, we inspect what we expected and we look for the gold, we look for the good. We try to find any little accomplishment, any win there that we can praise, because what you praise on a consistent basis, you will get more of. Number 5, practice the art of letting go. Instead of managing every detail, entrust your team with the responsibilities that allow them to make decisions and take ownership. Yes, it is much easier to let go. I will say this, it is much easier to let go when the team that you put together is like putting together a team of Avengers. Every single person on the team has a superpower, and you brought them onto the team for that reason. So you have to let go and let them do the thing that they're amazing at. That's why you brought them on board in the first place. Number 6, reflect on the legacy that you wish to leave. So take time regularly to envision the legacy you want to build, and then consider the values and principles you want to be remembered for. And then let them guide your decisions and interactions. Write down what you hope people will say about your leadership long after you're gone. So the idea here is this, right? You begin with the end in mind. You look at in your final days and you look back at all that is past, what should have happened in order to make your time on earth a home run? Did you accomplish the goal that you wanted to achieve? And have you set it up as a leader where it can continue on and improve to continue to benefit people long into the future? So I hope you enjoyed this training episode today. If so, let me know, give me a shout out and let me know what your big takeaways were. Hopefully you've got something, at least one thing that you can start implementing this week to take your leadership to the next level.